Well, to discuss Ireland, I'm delighted to welcome to the show Ireland's CJ Stander. CJ, how are things?
All good, thanks for having me on the show. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, I suppose we'll just get it out of the way. So we're going to talk about Saturday. So how did you reflect on Saturday and the tournament overall?
Straight to the point, no missing. Tough all day, I think looking at that game, back at it just today again, is you can't make those mistakes in an international game and expect to win. France is an unbelievable team at the moment. They're playing with flair again, and their forwards are putting them on the front foot. And we knew they were going to score tries from nothing, and they did that. So we didn't make it easy by not stopping them and not converting our chances, So, yeah, looking back at it, it's a tough one because I reckon we were not far off from winning the competition. If we look back in the first few games, but you need to finish the way you started, and disappointed. But next few weeks we've got another opportunity for a few wins, hopefully.
How did you approach that game? Because my understanding was you had to win and you had to score a lot of points, right?
Yeah.
But first and foremost, like, you need to win. But then when you've got that in the back of your mind, knowing that you've got to score tries, that can somehow alter how you play. Yeah,
for sure. I think going into the game, we knew what was expected from us, So still at the back of your mind, you wanna score those tries. But I think our plan was to, you could see it straight away. We got that penalty, and Conor Murray put the tee down and went for the points. We didn't get it, but that's another opportunity that puts pressure on us to get scoreboard pressure. And we knew we were going to have to stop their pack, and I think we struggled a little bit with that. And they got the upper hand, and that's the game.
Well, Johnny Sexton looked very frustrated when he was subbed off. What was said after the game?
Well, I know where Johnny's coming from. You guys played against him and you've seen him play. He's an inspirational guy, and he's a guy that's in the thick of it. So I think the disappointment was just him showing that he wanted to do more, and he feels he could have done more. So afterwards, not a lot of words were spoken. We knew we weren't good enough. One of those games, you sit in the corner. You just take in what's going around you, and I think I grabbed a beer and just enjoyed it, because at the end of the day, if you win if you lose and you played well, then fair play. But if you don't play well and you lose, then you have to take it on the chin as well, mate. It just happens.
Yeah, that's the way of the game, man. How impressive were France, mate? Obviously, you've probably played France quite a lot of times in your career, in your Test career. Like, for me, I was watching that game, and Ireland are always a team that are dominant in the collisions contact area. The whole game is based around the front foot, especially with the pack you've got, you being at the kind of forefront of that. Are France a better team now? Because I've been mightily impressed by them the last couple of months.
Yes, for sure, Jamie. I think they are playing with flair again, and I think they've got a good setup where they've actually got some good set pieces again, and they've got direction in their game, and those two young boys in the back line, they score tries from nothing, and that makes it difficult, because how do you defend that? You know it's going to come, you just don't know what's going to happen. But just to lay the foundation of their pack, they've got a big pack, physical, they're big boys, so they put them on the front foot, and they work hard, so it's good to see that they're back at it, because it makes the competition better, and it makes it more enjoyable.
You have been nominated for Player of the Championship, and then I think, did you win Munster's Players Player of the Year as well?
I did. Thank you.
So congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thanks. No,
something positive, I suppose, to come out of it.
It was up and down. I mean, Sunday waking up, a bit of a sore head and worried about just the game and stuff, and then Monday was another good day, So those things they don't come around often. It's just a massive honor for me and my family, because we've set out goals and we had a few tough years, and it's good to get a little win like that.
I was going to say, what's the game plan against Wales in 2 weeks, mate?
You wish, mate. You wish.
I reckon you could tell the game plan there. Wales still wouldn't have a chance. The confidence is shot Bring back Jamie Roberts. They need the doctor there. They need the doc
They
back.
need the big man, man. You need they need the big man for sure.
Genuine question. Is it quite nice to kind of draw a line under Six Nations and move on now?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I think because look, I don't want to take away from the competition and what we've done and as players and stuff, but it was so drawn out. Coming back to play the 2 games now was, it felt like new competition again. So to get to the back of it, put it down, and then we're lucky enough to have another competition where we can steer things right. And look, I don't think we're far off. Again, I said it earlier on. I think we need to fix small things here and there. I think we're going to have a few hard conversations in the next few days, and that's needed as well. Sometimes you need a kick up and to sort yourself out and move on.
No, I hate having to ask this question, but Ireland have been bettered physically by England in the last few meetings. What's the solution against their size and power, CJ? I'm sure Dylan, you'll have an opinion on this too.
Man, it's something like the last few games we played against them. They just literally they are at their best, and they're physical, and they've got unbelievable ball carriers all over the pitch. Like, you get around a corner 3 or 4 times in a different ruck, and it's different guys carrying the ball, So, going into a game like that, especially against England being very physical, you need to be at your utmost best during the week. Get yourself ready. So come Wednesday, that if you have a plan, we all have a plan always, but that plan needs to be embedded within you, that if it comes to that physical step and that confrontation about me and you, that you need to make sure that you can just bring that physicality. And I think last 2 times we played them, they were just better than us at that, and that's probably, those are the games I enjoy the most, because it's literally men against men, and they've brought it. So I'm looking forward to the next matchup.
I think there's a common theme here, Jamie, and we were talking about it earlier, but like every game, like the foundations of the game are physicality. And no matter who you play, whether it's tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, you need to base your game around physicality. And if you don't do that, like, you don't have a chance at winning the game.
Especially at Test rugby, like there's far less space on the pitch against Test rugby, and especially like Test organised defences. Like, there's so little space. You've got teams coming off the line against you, and every metre counts, every centimetre counts in Test rugby, especially when they're carrying or trying to win collisions. And you're dead right, Dols. Like, all the games now, unless you have a really good functioning set piece or can win collisions on the advantage line, you're not in with a chance, really.
And it needs to be from minute 1. I think if you try to talk about it at halftime, it's too late. It's way too late. You're going to be in trouble, So it's just a feeling on the day. You've guys been involved with it, like you're on the front foot here. And I actually missed those days where team used to just shepherd you back to the try line. Those grab, catch, tackles. Those were the days, man. I enjoyed them the most. They're all gone. There's no more games like that.
Yeah. It's all about the gain line. Everyone wants the gain line. Everyone wants quick ball.
Exactly.
CJ, you and James Ryan were in a bit of a scrap with Itoje the last time you guys played. Can you remember what was said?
I was a bit away from the scuffle, and then I got up trying to help James, and then Maro, being the man he is, like he gets under everyone's skin. Doesn't matter what game it is, even training with them in the Lions, against them, with them. That's the way he plays. That's why he's such a great. That's why he's one of the best players out there. So, and then suddenly my jersey's over my head. I can't even remember what was said. I just remember afterwards it was a good laugh, because I know Maro with the Lions, so I think him and James were just literally trying to see who's gonna take the 4 or 5 jersey, so that is a great contest.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting for sure. Speaking of another Welsh person, before we move on to Tackle Your Feelings, CJ. So Alwyn Jones played his, and we mentioned earlier on, he played his world record breaking 149th Test appearance on Saturday. So we wanted to pay a bit of a tribute to him and get everyone's best stories of him. So CJ, you obviously played with him for the Lions. Do you have any good stories of Alwyn? I
actually roomed with him for a week, just as we set off on the tour. So I wish I had more stories of him. I just remember, like, my boots for some reason didn't want to fit me. So in the room, I was like, "Oh, Alwyn, like, I'm struggling with these boots." It's probably not the best story, but it just shows you how professional he was. He had this massive bag in his, like, luggage, like, pulled it out. He had like shoe stretchers. I've never seen them in my life. This man pulls them out of his bag as if it's nothing. Like, so that in that bag was like bag of tricks. I'd say it's probably his stretching bag and all of the bands you needed. So just shows the professionalism of the man. I've never seen a guy who brings shoe stretchers with him overseas. Well done.
So shoe stretchers, these are the things that go inside shoes, yeah, that keeps the shape.
Yeah. So literally the one like you turn, like you put them in and you turn them, and he was like, you need to put them in hot water, put it in, and then turn it. I used the thing for like the whole tour. I actually think I broke one. He's probably going to see this and go, well, you owe me a pair, but lucky mate, you're never going to get them back.
CJ, I know I've obviously tortured you talking about Saturday, but I'm just going to have to bring you back to the World Cup. Obviously, that was a challenging time. Can you very quickly, briefly talk about the experience on and off the pitch for you guys?
I think the World Cup for me, I wanted to really put myself out there and go to a World Cup, sign my contract so that I made sure that I'm going to be in selection, and then got selected. So the year before we were in top form, won the Grand Slam, and then going over there, we trained hard. Like pre-season was one of the toughest ones I've ever done in my life. So physically wise, probably we were fit and we were ready to go. And then that first game, brimming, lost against Japan. I think that's where the train just left the station. We struggled against Russia then as well, and in Samoa. So, look, Captain hindsight, you think about we probably didn't talk about winning the World Cup. We probably should have. A lot of people will think it's cocky, but just thinking to myself, you need to have those conversations. What will it take, and what will you give as a player and as a group, and what do you stand for? We had all those things. We didn't really talk about winning the World Cup and getting ourselves to a quarters. We did, but not even getting to a quarter and into a semi. You need to really put yourself in that. What can I say? In that cup, because the World Cup is you lads been there more times than I did. But like, we're just winning the World Cup is it's massive. Like, it's a tough competition. It's a lot of hard games in consecutive days. Like, and to keep you mentally strong and fit to be there is a task by itself, So to win it, hats off to any guy who ever who've won it. It is special. So I just think we didn't prepare mentally, saying that, okay, this is us. We're gonna go here for this amount of weeks, and this is it. We're gonna win it, and if it fails, then let's have it. So the quarters against New Zealand, all the other games we won against them, we were way off par, and I mean, you can't play like that again.
Well, today you became the latest player to support the Tackle Your Feelings campaign by launching your ambassador video. So since 2016, the Tackle Your Feelings campaign, run by Rugby Players Ireland and funded by Zurich and the Z Zurich Foundation, encourages people to take control and be proactive about their mental well-being. This is an all-Ireland campaign, and it features some of Ireland's most loved rugby players opening up about their own mental well-being challenges and strategies they use to overcome them, so that the people of Ireland and abroad can follow their lead. So CJ, tell me, why did you feel it was important to get involved in this campaign?
I think using the app and just being in a few tough sports in my career and just in personal life was important for me, especially over lockdown period, and just to get a message out there that people need to look after each other. It's firstly for me, I'm trying to be kind to myself firstly, and then to other people. You never know when someone needs a shoulder or just a word. You don't know what they're going through, because sometimes I feel as rugby players, we're like, all right, I'm just going to get through this and get out on the other side. Like, sometimes you lose games and then you don't know why someone didn't perform, and it's probably something off the pitch most of the time, and you don't know it. If you just ask them, they'll probably share it with you, and then you understand where someone's coming from, because I believe this: no one goes out to not be good on a Saturday or in a training session either. So we just need to look after each other. I think that's probably the main message, because you don't have to be all right all the time. You can be vulnerable, and I think as a rugby player, sometimes we tend to not be vulnerable and go, all right, I'm a tough man, or I'm a tough girl, I'm going to get through this. So that's it.
Oh, that's awesome. And you mentioned there just about obviously how important it is to be kind. And I think, especially with social media, sometimes that might not always be the case for you guys. So can you talk us through maybe some of the trolling that you may have received, or, you know, what kind of stuff has been maybe directed at you, and maybe how it's affected you and your family?
Yeah, look, for me personally, I know I put myself out there on weekends to get judged. You know, judge is not the thing to do. It's not for me to judge someone else, but people do tend to do it, and that is fine. Personally wise, my family's got a lot of, like my wife actually has got a lot of stick on social media, especially after the World Cup, because she's proud of me and she knows what I go through as a person and as a player. And then not doing well in the World Cup, she was trying to stand up for me and the team and stuff. And I feel that it's fine to, me personally, I'm putting myself out there again, and it's fine to get criticism because that is the game. But as soon as you attack someone's family, I took that the wrong way, and I still do. I get like my hair stands up in the back of my neck, and I just want to put it out there and then charge everyone that is saying these things. But that's not the right way to do it. It's you're going to have to deal with criticism in your career, and as a person, doesn't matter what you do, you need to get the right tools. That's where, again, with the Tackle Your Feelings app, especially with the pro side launching it now, it doesn't matter who you are, the app gives you that opportunity to get the right tools to see how to handle with different situations. And it's actually a good distraction, because if me and you have a problem now, and I go online and I go on the app, and this takes my mind away, and if I come back I might think, well, probably actually you're not really saying something wrong, so just leave it there, or just say, well, I'm sorry, you know. So it gives you an opportunity to just step back and go, okay, let's look at the situation, I can deal with this. Happy days.
Dylan, do you think if you had tackled your feelings while you were playing, you may not have been maybe disciplined as often?
You taking the piss?
Right. Next level, straight in.
No, I was looking for this. I saw a Mike Tyson thing the other day, a meme. It was actually a quote. Social media made you way too comfortable with disrespecting people and not getting punched in the face for it.
Word.
CJ, big fan of what you said, mate. I think it's massively important. And like, ultimately, rugby elicits so many emotions in players, fans and whatever. And it's very easy to kind of lose your mind over it. I used to call Instagram, me and my mate used to call it the time thief. And literally, you're right. You can be on that shit for hours and hours. And you look up and 3 hours of your life is just gone. And you've just fed your head with useless information that you don't need. And you're right, giving people time of day in your head, where in reality you wouldn't even listen to them if you spoke to them on the street. So yeah, it is important. CJ, big fan of your work, mate.
Thanks, Jamie. I appreciate that, man. That means a lot. Thanks, brother.
Well, I think on that note, CJ, we'll let you go. So thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for being our first guest.
Oh, lovely. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it, and thanks. I enjoyed both of your work, so thanks for having me, and thanks for being kind. I appreciate it, lad.
Congrats on the awards.
Mate, all the best in a couple of weeks against Wales. Not too much luck.
Yes,
Thanks, CJ. Bye.
Bye.